Good morning, South Florida, and welcome to the breakfast at the Brooklyn Cafe TV.
Take a deep breath and a good whiff of that coffee brewing. Grab yourself some toast, a donut, or any breakfast as Dawn and Freddie get you up and ready for the rest of the day.
So call in at 888-565-1470 to share a tip of the day.
Or just to say good morning. Shake off your sleepies, buckle in, cause it's showtime! Mics 1 through 4. Good morning. Welcome, as Freddie would say, to the Brooklyn Cafe Show. It is a lovely Monday morning, July 6th. After a lovely 4th of July weekend, a rainy and, as Vinny says to me on my right, wet. The man of few words, no pun included. Wait, your mic's nowhere near you.
Hello.
Happy Monday. It doesn't feel like a Monday. Happy Monday, everyone, right? You and I left here Friday late. Teddy was like my babysitter. Nothing like you all like bailing on us on Friday. My bodyguard, right? So never underestimate what's in Teddy's trunk is all I can tell you. My bodyguard was with me late on Friday. We came back this morning. Freddie is away, so we are here. She's got her glow-in-the-dark axe. Val is on board. I got Teddy. Slick's over there. Vinny hanging out on my right. And we're going to talk a little bit about the 4th. A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Anyone see Hamilton?
I didn't get to see it. My best friend threw a themed party for it.
Yeah.
And they made all the food themed from Hamilton. So anytime like a song came up that had to do with the food, they would Snapchat me eating it. I was so upset. Because it was like her and all her cousins and siblings and everything. I was so mad I didn't get to go.
Did a Hamilton party? Did anyone see it?
I mean, I was supposed to. Yeah, I did not see it.
Yeah, you did not.
I did not see it. I'm so sorry. But I was planning to see it.
You got to turn on the mic
distracted-
boxes.
I was distracted about getting my own fireworks and popping them this year because Boston, it's illegal to pop fireworks.
Gene,
And
turn
Boston
on the
is.
mic
Just
boxes.
turn those mic boxes on. We're going to flop them over the other way. Vinny, did you see Hamilton?
I do not care for it much.
I love it. I've listened to the entire soundtrack.
Did you see the show?
No, and I was saving it up to watch it with my boyfriend, but now I'm at a point because he keeps making excuses that I'm like, I'm just going to watch it without you.
I was supposed to see the show before we went on quarantine. My
Yeah.
kids loved it. We were supposed to see it. They were really, really into me seeing the movie. So I turned on the movie Friday night, and I always fall asleep when I sit down at any point in time. So I'm sure to fashion, 10 minutes in, out. I got enough of the first act, so by the second act, I was like, oh, I want to see it. To me, the second act was like the whole story,
Oh,
which
yeah.
was not the story, but it's like the understory
Yeah.
that I love so much.
The first act is like lighthearted mostly, and you're like, oh, you're rooting for everyone. In the second act, your heart just starts to rip apart and break, and you're like, uh-oh.
It's
Oh,
so much
no.
to it, and then now everyone's analyzing it, Slick, on the whole racial divide of Hamilton and its timeliness. And I was reading there saying, no, when it came out during Obama's presidency, it was much more appropriate, they're saying, for what
Yeah.
it was than for now. What do you think, Slick?
I feel like you're saying right because when Obama was when Obama was presidency for 8 years, it was kind of like a unification. Like we was trying to bring everybody together, but right now you
Yeah.
can see the divide in this president or like this regime or like you can call it this presidency, but you can see the divide. And at this point in time, what you seen what happened in Mount Rushmore with the Native Americans stopping.
Yeah, what happened? Everyone was so controversial about it. I didn't even look because it was never going to be a good conversation in my house, let's put it that way.
Basically, it was like a harmless protest. They basically stopped whoever was there to basically show the people that were there at Mount Rushmore was trying to.
They were trying to do a fireworks show, and Trump was going to have a, rally there or
Thank you,
whatever.
Teddy, for that
Yeah.
for that layup. Thank
Sorry.
you. No, but basically it was like a calm protest, like from the snippets I seen. And
No
from-
masks, right?
Yeah.
No nothing.
No mask, no nothing. But I think majority of the protesters were wearing masks. Some of them weren't. But from the spectators on the Trump side, they weren't wearing masks. And you you can see it. But it was a calm protest. People thought like, what is it? The Native Americans was trying to attack them, but it was kind of just blurred lines throughout these stories that were passed on. But it was a calm protest throughout this whole Mount Rushmore thing.
It's just so interesting the way it changes. All of this, it just changes history so much that I'm kind of like torn between this changing history, acknowledging the history, being cognizant of what it means. They were talking today about Monticello and the descendants of Sally Hemings. And they went, we are so proud to be the descendants of Sally Hemings that we think Jefferson was kind of hypocritical in what he believed, that he probably did not believe all men were created equal. However, when he got involved with Sally Hemings, and then obviously there were offspring and families and generations that came after it, it's a whole big can of worms is all I can say. And Freddie would totally take it a whole nother way than I would. Yes, Slick?
No, but like, I feel as though
He's so funny. He shakes his head yes, and he goes no.
I mean,
Is that like a no, yeah, or yeah,
like,
no, or what?
I always agree to disagree. Not saying I'm disagreeing with you. It's just
I don't really know. I can't take a right side on this other than
True.
slavery is wrong, but
Like,
that's what it was then.
I just
and-
like the fact that like you and Freddie and everybody else, they're like aware of this. Like there's some people that are aware of it but really don't care, because there are people just like the invisible people that I always talk about that don't wear masks or like don't see racial lines, and they think, oh, saying all lives matter is the same as saying such and such matters, or like they always try to pose a question to like actually wash out what the people are trying to say. So I'm glad that you guys are like around, especially in the studio, like you guys are aware. Like there's a lot of people that are aware but really don't care.
I really see both sides, three sides. I see so many different sides that I can't take a right or wrong other than all lives matter, Black lives matter. Slavery is wrong, but it is what it was in the South back then. I didn't live. I might have lived then. I don't recall in this lifetime that but I honestly think I did live then. Like I totally think I was like on a plantation, and I've got family members that are probably descendants of, and they haven't done the DNA, which is interesting. I won't tell you who, because then you'll like think this whole bad thing of me. But it's a whole interesting side of it. But wait till you see it.
I'm really excited to see it. When it came out, I was in school for theater, so it was a huge thing, and I just never got to see it because I didn't have the money to see it when it came to Tampa. But it was such a huge thing, and I remember doing the analysis of how Lin-Manuel Miranda, even though the characters are representing white characters, everyone in it is a person of color except for King George. Oh, sorry, my mic went weird. I was like, what? King George is the only white actor in the entire Broadway play, because it's, even though everyone was white historically, except for Hamilton, I believe, and a few others, it raises the awareness of, because he's from an immigrant family,
right,
and he wanted to show that immigrants can do it, immigrants get it done. And I remember being in the theater area when it was happening, and everyone in my department who was an immigrant, everyone had on their grad caps, everyone got it tattooed. Like, it was such a huge, amazing thing. Because theater is so dominated, like it is predominantly white. Or if you're a person of color, you're typecast, which is just not the best thing usually.
And I think that was probably the point of him doing it that way.
Yeah.
But then people, like my mom watched it, she goes, I'm kind of confused. So it's a whole generational thing. And she even said it's very generational. She said the music she couldn't resonate with because the way the music was written, and which was, his music is amazing. I hadn't heard the whole soundtrack. And she said, I don't understand why they're all of color. Were they? She said, I don't think. Like Washington wasn't, and Jefferson. But you never know who was. And if you look at the descendants of Sally Hemings, you would never know by looking at them on the outside that they were descendants of her, which is interesting.
I love the thought that, like, because technically, all Americans, no matter how American you are, unless you're First Nations, like Native American, you're an immigrant. We're all immigrants. So I thought it was a really cool transition that all these people who are supposed to be born and bred Americans were all what we see as immigrants or people of color and everything, because that's what they were. And to many Native Americans and to the country, that's what we were.
I mean, just slavery to me was just, it's so wrong on so many levels, every level. There is not one level that you can say that it was good for. But until you see Hamilton, I'd love to, after y'all see it, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Val, how was your weekend over there? You worked. And that was not with us. So what did you do all weekend? There have been weekends that you've worked all weekend with us.
Yes. No, I worked at, I can't hear myself.
I always love when you guys take your headphones off because you can't hear and talk at the same time. It's hilarious.
No, it drives me nuts to hear myself in my ears and then like know that I'm talking. No, I worked at Town Center all weekend.
And how was that?
It wasn't too bad.
Was it open on the 4th?
Yes, we were open on the 4th. It wasn't super crazy busy, which was nice. But what funny was we saw because our store is right by Macy's, so we saw Macy's door gates go down at 6 o'clock. We were like, Macy's is closing at 6. We weren't supposed to close till 7. So we were hoping the managers would be like, okay, let's go, because it was so dead. And they were like, no. We stayed open until 7.
Anyone watch fireworks? I thought of you. My neighborhood was going crazy. The dog was in a freaking panic. She
Yeah.
found a new place behind the couch. You know, we've got these electric recliners. You know, all the couches open up now. She turned off the switch. Chelsea's dog is about this big. She's about 10 pounds, and we couldn't find her. She was behind the couch, standing on top of one of the power strips.
Aw.
And I thought of you and all your dogs.
Yeah, my dogs were maniacs. I went over to my boyfriend's house and we were setting off fireworks there because I couldn't do it near my dogs because they're absolute like neurotic
Yeah.
maniacs. But we were setting them off there, and so all the kids from the neighborhood came out and watched because we'd spent a lot of money on them. The neighbors own like a bounce house company, and they spent a lot of money on them. And I came back home, and one of my dogs was locked in the closet. One of them was just running around the house pacing, and one of them was on top of my mom's head on the bed, just like furiously shaking. So
We have
Interesting
Zach's
one.
dog Buster. He was so scared because it was thundering.
Buster?
Buster.
Yes. What kind of dog is it?
He's
Don't tell me he's like a little Daisy Chihuahua or something.
no.
Okay.
You know the dog Buster from Toy Story.
Uh-huh.
He literally looks.
Okay, I was going to say, that's what I couldn't imagine. He's like, what, Par Pit?
Little Pit, little Dotson.
Teddy's favorite.
He's just like a little mix. He's only 23 pounds, but he's the cutest thing. And so he was scared of the thunder. He normally or the fireworks, he normally apparently doesn't get very scared because Zach gives him relaxers, but he couldn't find them.
yeah.
So he had to wrap him up in a blanket.
That's what
keep
they
him
had to
from
do.
Freaking out. Because every time we heard a big bang from like a thunder or
Yeah.
a firework, you would just see his eyes get really
So
wide.
you stayed in for the 4th?
Huh?
You stayed in for the
I
4th?
did because I didn't get home till 7:30. I was like, I'm not going anywhere.
And you kind of stayed in for the 4th?
Yeah, we had done a big tent. We were gonna do like a whole outside barbecue dinner, and they did like lights and tents, and then started pouring, and the tent collapsed. So we're like, oh, guess we're gonna eat inside.
Such a weird 4th. Vinny, what'd you do?
I did absolutely nothing. Well, except taking care of my dog who was scared.
All the dogs were scared. You stayed in too. Slick, what'd you do besides bang your head against your
What
computer?
is it? My weekend was very interesting because like I was mostly picking up food from my aunt, and basically like they were kind of celebrating the 4th but weren't, because being that it was the 4th, everybody came down to like, you know, talk to each other, socialize as family. What is it? Basically, she called me over to actually, you know, pick up the food. I didn't want to like expose myself anymore to like my family, because I do, watch over my niece and my nephew. But I have like a random question for you guys, because this happened after the 4th, because my 4th was basically me going in and out trying to pop like, those Chinese firecrackers that like
Oh, I love those.
everywhere. I love those. And bottle rockets.
So no one went to a party? No one went to a barbecue? No one went to the
Very
Ave?
relaxed. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
pandemic outside, so there's
wanna
no
be able
need
to
for
come
me to
back
go
here.
to a party.
I'm with
Yeah.
you.
So, basically, the question I'm asking is like, you're waking up after the 4th of July. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna be either drunk or, yeah, basically, because I woke up kind of drunk too, because I
So you
did have
drank
some-
by yourself? You set up Pop Rockets by
no,
yourself?
because I had my mom and my brother with me, so I was actually.
You weren't
by
totally
myself.
alone, okay.
Totally alone, but I would say relatively
Contained.
alone from last.
Okay.
But basically, I woke up to 8 police officers in front of my house.
What?
8 squad cars.
8 squad cars?
8 squad cars. They were all state troopers.
And what time did you wake up? What time was
Basically, this was around 9:30, because I usually get up and get out around 9:30, 9:45.
this? This is in the morning? Yesterday morning?
Yesterday morning. So basically, I tend to soak in the sun a lot in the morning. So that's why I kind kind of feel like I adjusted being a morning person, especially down
What's it
here.
like being slick? I kind of drank too
It's a
much.
very
Shut up, Pop
chill-
Rockets.
it's a
Woke
very
up at
chill
9:30,
morning,
ate
and
squat
plus,
cards.
like,
I
my
soaked
head
in the
was hurting.
sun.
And my head was hurting, so
I'm
I feel-
changing the name of your show, Life According to Slick.
Wait, so
But-
why were there cop cars
What
outside your house?
happened?
I'm worried.
That's what I'm getting to. Like, they heard a very suspicious, like, vehicle was going around. Like, they tagged a vehicle that was coming into my community, but they pulled into my yard. It was 8 squad cars.
Oh, so
They forced me
oh.
inside. They forced me inside. They was already in the property. I'm like, do you guys know that you're in the property? You need such and such type of paperwork to be in the property, saying that there's a suspicious person report.
You told them all that?
Yeah,
You
I
told them they were
them
like
all-
trespassing?
I have
They
the video,
needed-
guys. I have the video, so I can show you guys the video.
Oh, can we play it? Well, we'll have to see it before we play it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I would
We have
say,
to
yeah. But basically, I would say, like, how would you feel if 8 police officers come in front of your house and they're not abiding by social distancing rules? Most of them didn't have masks on, and I can attest to that because I have it on video. And they're saying that you need to go inside because people felt that I was wrong, saying that I was wrong for keep going back to the police officers with a video camera. But I'm like, I'm on my property. They shouldn't even be on here because shouldn't they have like,
Okay,
some
we
legal
got to
paperwork?
back up a second. You wake up, there's 8 squad cars in your neighborhood,
No,
in your
in
house,
front of the house.
and your mom's there, your brother's there, and you're there. And you
Yes,
walk
and my
outside in
TV
your drunken stupor.
Yes.
And you say to them, you should not be, I'm trying just to summarize this.
Correct, go.
You should not be here because this is private property unless
Correct.
you have
A warrant.
a warrant that says you can be here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they were on the grass, right? So that's considered common
No,
governmental ease?
they were in the driveway. Like
They were in your driveway,
There were
okay.
4 chargers in the driveway, and then there were 2 Tahoes behind it, and then there were 2 on the side that were the common area for.
And now clearly you're a neighborhood. This is not just your house in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
What were they
Yeah.
looking for?
They were looking for a
Specific?
suspicious car that ran into the neighborhood. But I'm like, why would you come to this house?
I was gonna say, to be clear, like it wasn't your car.
It wasn't my car. No,
And it
And
wasn't
they
my
any
were-
car
of your
was
family's
parked.
car.
And they were in your driveway. They
They were
weren't
in my
looking for it. They were
driveway.
just sitting there.
And then I'm like, what is going on?
So they're
officer?
literally blocking you from
So they're
leaving.
literally blocking me from like, what am I doing? And then it got to the point that they didn't want to let me talk at one point. And then once I pulled out the video camera to record them, that's when they wanted to be cordial.
Great.
So they changed.
Dare
up
I
the-
ask the race of these police officers?
Oh, it was very mixed. It was very mixed.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that's
It was
at
a mixed
least,
crowd.
so you got that on your side, right? It
Correct.
wasn't a
Yeah,
racial
it
profiling
wasn't
thing.
a racial profile. It was very mixed. It was just like I felt like you guys have false information, and you shouldn't be scaring a lady that's a senior inside
Yeah.
with 8 cars out front.
Well, my more worry is that, like, what if you had to go to work yesterday? Like, there are people who worked on Sundays. I used to work on Sundays.
Correct.
And you have to go to work. They're in your driveway. They're not letting you leave. They're not letting you pull your car out.
Correct.
What am I supposed to say to my boss? Like, hi, I can't come into my very important job. Police officers are literally locking me in my house. But don't worry, they're looking for a specific vehicle that's
Right.
not
Vehicle.
mine.
Correct.
And they wouldn't let you leave.
They wouldn't let me leave.
And, like, I understand
And
they
they
have
were
to search
scaring.
for
What is it?
stuff,
My mom
but-
my mom, like, she speaks mostly Creole
Creole.
and some English, so she couldn't translate what she wanted to actually say to these police officers. So I felt like if I wasn't there at the time, they were gonna take advantage or take advantage of the situation. I don't know what they would do to the yard, and right now with the police officers, I wouldn't want to trust a police officer at this state in time.
So what happened?
Basically, they all backed out. Like I think they were probably locking down the perimeter of some sort. But the fact that they were in my driveway doing that thing, and they were trying to control the situation, was just all wrong. And I felt like they felt that way, so that's why they kind of dispersed within the hour.
And
Yeah.
within an hour. And you
Mm-hmm.
took video.
Correct.
Wow.
They probably,
I have
like,
video.
they were probably thinking they were doing the right thing of like you said, securing the perimeter. There's a bad vehicle. It might be a bad person, but like they definitely probably just went about it a really bad way. And then we're like, oh, this kid's right. Because the hardest thing to do is admit that you did something wrong, especially when you're, under scrutiny, you're a police officer. I'm not defending them. I'm just saying, like, they probably realized that you were right. And they're like, okay, let's stay here for like 20 more minutes. When he goes inside and forgets about this, let's pretend like
Yeah.
someone else told us to disperse and not him.
I did have one officer, like, I felt like he was trying to, like, agitate me, or like he was trying to, I don't know.
Was your brother there?
My brother was there.
Did he come out?
No, not at all. He said,
Seriously?
he told me, yeah, Gene has it.
You goes,
Because I'm not. No, what is it? Because I wasn't even up for the debate or anything.
You should have said, by the way, do you know I work for a production company? We go on air tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And I just want you to know that I got this video. I'm going to share it across the Roku.
It's okay because I feel like I got good enough film to say officers like the things that you were doing when you pulled up were totally wrong. I just didn't get their names and their badge numbers.
Did they do anything wrong?
Oh no. Besides
being in your driveway.
Besides being in my driveway and like you know how you would show respect to a police officer, like I felt like I came out cordially, but they came out just very yelling at me, belligerent. This is when the camera was off.
They were belligerent for.
Like, get inside. Why are you outside? We're following a report. Da, 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 da. And then they said, you get inside. So I popped back inside, and then I grabbed my phone, and then I started recording.
Wow.
I'm like, what?
Happy 4th of July.
This is not real.
And I got to tell you, I wish Callaway were here. He'll be here soon. But remember we were talking last week how he just doesn't feel so strongly about the 4th of July represents our country and all of these things. So I was talking to my son. Now, you know my son, he just graduated law school, so he's very politically enraged, I guess, for lack of a better word. So he says the same thing. He goes, the 4th is just not what the 4th is supposed to be. And I went, wow, this is this is really what your generation is feeling.
Well, I think it's morphed. I was talking to my dad about this yesterday, and the 4th of July and originally it's the day that, the Declaration went through and it was fully finished, and it's supposed to be Independence Day. It's supposed to be when America split from Britain and everything, and people turned it into the 4th of July is a celebration of how America's the greatest and Americans are the greatest and nothing's better than America, and all this stuff that's not what it's about. And obviously we have a lot of issues going on right now that, while I still love the country and I still think it's, the greatest, I understand that there's a lot of issues that need to be fixed. I don't think we should celebrate how it's the best country ever when there's other countries in a lot of situations that are doing better than us. But we should still celebrate that, we're independent. We still, most of us have, well, no, can't say that. We're not ruled by Britain.
We're not ruled by Britain.
I don't know.
What do you think, Val? I listened to you guys, and I talked to my kids that are the same millennials, and even Chelsea, who doesn't say a whole lot of anything politically, has her opinions, and she's really trying to get people to go out and vote. She just says it more quietly than Aaron does. Mm-hmm. Aaron's like, boom, in your face, mic drop. And you'll see all his posts. Chelsea is a little bit softer on the edges, kind of like me and Freddie.
Yeah.
A little softer on the edges. What do you think? Yeah, now that I'm in here, we can actually talk and have these conversations, not in the theater.
Anymore.
Yeah, no more hiding.
Not allowed to hide anymore, huh? What do I think, politically?
What do you think about the 4th of July? What it was supposed to stand for versus how you feel it stands for now? I mean, it still is about our independence, right? Historically, that is what we celebrate, but it has morphed, it has mutated, for lack of a better word.
Well, I will say that when I was younger, I used to think it was just a day for parades and barbecues and pool and fun, and obviously now it's not so much. I guess it is still a day for parties, but it's a day to represent that we are one nation. We have some independence.
Some.
I think it reminds me of a Christmas thing, how Christmas was originally when it came from the pagans and whatever your history of it, it's supposed to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ and all that. And now it's lost that so much that's all about just presents and, whatever. And it's the same thing 4th of July for me, that's supposed to represent something important. And now it's just gone to parties, we're the greatest, every other country sucks, whatever. And it's not right. And then you look at what's going on today and you look at what happened to the Native Americans, and we're learning more about history that wasn't in our history books because people are able to come out and we can talk to Native Americans on the reservations without having to go there, them having to come to us and hear the real stories of what happened from their side. And you're starting to realize that, this wasn't as, glorious as the history books make it sound.
The history books are little whitewashed, as my kids say. I say kids are adults, but right? Vinny, what do you think?
About the 4th?
Yeah. At least you didn't say about what. I was waiting for him to pull a Freddie and go, about what? Yeah, I heard you. What'd you say?
Yeah, what?
Too late now.
At least you knew I said it about 4th. What do you think? You still stand for it? Do you think it's mutated, changed, what people feel about it?
I feel like everyone's divided on it, but everyone's been divided on it for a while now, but everyone's still going their own way, how they feel and think about it. For me, I just go my own thing and just do what I have to do.
That's pretty much Vinny.
Yeah, that's a pretty good synopsis of just who you are.
Everyone does their own thing. But it's an interesting change of what it is. So I watched the fireworks, and I guess they did the different boroughs around New York, right? It
Yep.
was Macy's, but they popped in and out. It was a beautiful presentation. The music was amazing, but, you know, the feel is totally different now, right? Times Square, when you see all the shots of Times Square and the beautiful
Yeah.
Broadway and not opening until 2021 and what this has all done to that industry.
The actors, all the actors, a lot of them don't qualify for unemployment. A lot of them are out of business, and a lot of people, you know, that's what you do your whole life, so you don't really have another trade.
Did you see that actor passed
rough.
away?
No, which
The one
one?
that had his
Yeah,
leg
the-
amputated, the Broadway
Oh.
actor,
Yeah, yeah,
41, from complications
But I saw that he
from COVID.
fought COVID for 90 days.
And he passed away, 41 years old. So, you know, when you see things like that and people say it doesn't exist, something exists.
Yeah.
I'm not here to say it does or it doesn't. I don't use that C word or
will.
anything else like that, but
I'll say it. It exists. I'll say it for you. You can write to me. I'll be in Freddie's place. Write to me.
It does exist, you know, and everyone's talking about all these other things. But when you see the deaths,
Yeah.
it exists. People are dying. These numbers, then I saw that they're trying to do this cross-sampling, and they're going to take 5 samples and run one test, and if it's negative, then we're assuming you're all negative. If it's positive, then they're going to run the 5 tests to save money. I don't understand. I have to tell you, and I'm not political, but I'm getting it. I don't understand what's going on.
I'm not going into it.
Slick, what you
It's gonna
working
get me in
on?
trouble.
I'm working on my guest for tomorrow. His name is Alejandro, but according to him in the streets, they call him Black Boy 1K.
Yeah, we're going to see a promo
He's
on that,
basically,
right?
yeah, he's basically a TikToker, and
love TikTok.
he's a
I'm really excited
TikToker,
about
and he's
this.
like a reaction type of person on YouTube. So I'm fixing up the clip right now so I can air to you guys. I think probably by the midday show.
Nice.
All right.
Do we have TikTok on this show?
I don't know.
I believe Evan B made one. I'm gonna message them and see if they made it or if they just posted videos of you
Evan
guys
B, that
on
would be
theirs.
Bev in Freddie's world of combining them. I think we had one. I don't know if I don't know how to use TikTok.
It's a really great platform. I love TikTok. I'm actually really obsessed with it, and it's like it started out as a Vine replica, and now it's turned into a way that people are just sharing this crazy information, like not crazy, but this information that you never would have heard otherwise in a quick 30-second video.
Correct.
That's easier to digest.
You want to do a TikTok?
Well, no.
I would love to see Val do a TikTok. I would pay so much money to watch you do a TikTok dance. I'll get someone to teach you Renegade. I would die.
What
Oh.
I found out over the weekend is one of the mechanics at Zach's dealership TikTok has gone viral.
A lot of businesses now, that's their big thing. There's a lot of dentists, doctors, businesses, everywhere has a TikTok because that's what all the kids are on.
So we need a TikTok, maybe not for the cafe, but at least for you guys. For
Do
your
the Renegade.
2020.
I don't know.
I've
that-
been honestly, I've been trying to like learn the Renegade from a 10-year-old, and I still haven't got it.
All right, I don't even know
Oh.
what the Renegade is. Teddy, can you show us?
I don't know it, but there is a really great video on my friend's little sister's page of them doing some, because people make like little dances to the songs and everyone replicates it, and it's them doing the dance and I'm in the back eating pizza because I didn't realize I was in the shot, and I was sitting there making fun of them through like 50 takes. So the whole video, my face just stuffed with just pizza, yeah, and me just staring into the camera watching them. That's the
Nice.
closest I got.
And there, yes.
I just get mad and just like slap down her phone. Not break it, but like I just push it over because I'm like I'm trying to learn the steps with you, but you're not teaching me. She's like, just learn it off YouTube.
Oh yeah, they make YouTube videos and they make specific TikTok
like-
tutorials.
I'm like, you're my niece.
Can we teach Freddie to do Renegade?
I would die. I would die.
You should do a morning show.
I think we
Like
should.
someone should do a morning show to teach us all how to do the Renegade.
All
I
right,
think
let's
we
do
should,
it.
I'll bring
yeah.
in my friend's little sister. She'll
Bring,
teach us
bring,
all of
she's
them.
probably 6, right?
She is 16.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the age, and these are dances that if I had a kid and my kid was 16 and I saw her do this dance,
Oh, now I got to look it
I'm
up.
like, your butt does not need to be there or doing that.
It's very
It's one of those.
It's one of
It's
those?
very
Yeah.
And they got the little kids doing this stuff?
correct.
Yeah. You see like
Yeah.
9-year-olds and they're doing the.
Correct. Yes,
the,
they're doing the Savage, the Megan Thee Stallion one got
There's a
like
Jonas
9-year.
Brothers
Yes.
dance on there that I know is
It's very
like, really moving
provocative.
your hips.
All right, let's go to commercial break. When we come back, more with post 4th of July at the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Give us a call, 888-994-4995. Freddie, and I think you probably saw at least something because I did see a welcome, unless somebody is creeping on our account. Give us a call.
He is watching.
He's watching, and we'll be right back.
CBD products are made the same. Here at your CBD store, our trained and highly educated staff can help recommend the perfect products for you. Stop in and see for yourself at one of our locations in Pembroke Pines, West Boca, Boynton Beach, or Singer Island. Or call us today at 561-437-1080. Again, that's 561-437-1080.
They call me Don Pablo, and 20 years ago, I discovered my passion for great quality coffee. Today, we're roasting excellent quality coffee that's rich, smooth, and very complex. It's a taste that's new in the world.
Amy Minty combines the hilarity of For Better or Money, the eroticism of For Love or Sanity, the mystique of For Sink or Swim, and the suspense of For Sex or Revenge, making her fifth novel, For Strip or Gamble, her best to date. Get your copy at amyminty.com or amazon.com. Get yours now.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And ding, 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 there's your bell.
I would say, like,
I feel honored.
for if anybody can remember, like, the whole situation.
What's the question, Slick?
The question is, like, if you have 8 police officers outside your house, are you supposed to, like, if he demands you to ask for an ID and you're at your house, like, why would you give him your ID? Like, would you give him your ID if he would ask you? You're in your property.
And they're not showing
He's
you like a
invading
warrant or
your
anything.
property. Yes, he doesn't have no warrant, no nothing, but he's asking you for your ID.
No.
Okay.
I'll say for me, no.
Did that happen to you?
Yeah, I'm like, no, officer, why would I give you my ID?
Did you really? What did he say?
He's like, oh, so are you the owner of the property? I'm like, no, I'm not the owner of the property. I'm just looking out for my car that you guys pulled into this driveway. I don't understand what you guys are doing. So I'm like, why would you be asking me for an ID? I should be asking you, like, what is your stated purpose here?
Yeah.
Because they were all over the property. Like, I felt like if I didn't come out, they would have been on the driveway. Like, yeah.
So let me ask you, how did it feel? Like, have you ever been in a situation like that where you had to defend your mom, defend your honor, defend your property and your house?
I feel like I did at a certain time, but it was yeah. Like, when it comes to my mom, like, I get overly protective because I know, like, I feel like people would take advantage of her being that she doesn't know how to speak English. like she doesn't know all the words. So I feel like people would take that and spin her words, and I'm like, no, my mom would not be depicted in that light.
That's good.
But I know for myself, I've been in situations like that where I have to defend myself. But with my mom, it's like 2.0. Like, you can't, no.
You always wonder, like, what would you do in a situation if it came to that? How would you defend yourself? You, I know. You are like this one. If this situation came to your house, what would you do?
Talk to them what's going on and why you guys doing this.
Would you show them your ID if they asked for it?
No.
That's interesting. Would
I
you?
feel like it'd be a way different. I've had a kind of similar situation happen, not like Slicks, but it was, and I don't know why I can't say that, but it was handled a lot differently where I was dog sitting at a friend's house, so it wasn't my house, didn't have anything, like just dog sitting there. I accidentally set off their alarm because I was walking their dog at like 4 a.m. I had to go to work. And I called them and they're like, no, it's not connected to the police. You're fine. So I didn't feel like I had to call the police station, say it was a false alarm or anything. 2 hours later, I was about to leave and the police came, and their dog doesn't like men, and it's a pit bull. So they're like clawing at my legs trying to get to these male police officers. So put the dog away. They were not suspicious at all that this dog was going maniac. They asked me, is this your house? I said no. I was like, I'm just dog sitting. I'm on my way to work. It's 4 a.m. I set the alarm off. Absolutely no concern. And they were just like, okay, that's fine. Can we have your ID? And I was like, I don't live here. I was like, you can have it, but I don't live here. There's no reason. They're like, oh, okay, that's fine. We don't need it. Wrote a little ticket that said dog walker accidentally set off alarm, put on the door, left.
That was it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I feel like it would have been handled a lot different, or it had been handled a lot differently when I actually really could have done something wrong. Like if I was a thief.
At 4 a.m.?
Yeah. That dog was attacking me. I was fully dressed 4 a.m. Like I had, all this stuff. I had a jacket on. It was cold. I fully could have been a thief in someone else's house.
And it totally didn't
And they
go
were just
that
like,
way.
dog walker, no problem. We don't need your ID. You don't live here.
If you think back to like the 50s, when you Leave It to Beaver and Happy Days and all this fun stuff, right? At least that's how it was portrayed back then, at least when I was growing up. And now you look at it, and there's so much hostility. The level of hostility is so much higher now. I can't say situations have changed because I think there was clearly always racism and there was always racial profiling. But the level of hostility, or is it awareness?
I think it's awareness of the hostility. Because I have a lot of people, my boyfriend's mom is Costa Rican. Obviously, she immigrated here. And when she was like in the process of getting her citizenship, she said that she would be absolutely, she's still learning English and she speaks with a heavy accent. And she's like, if I got pulled over for a speeding ticket, these cops would interrogate me about what I was doing. They thought she was part of the cartel or something, even though, Costa Rica, Mexico, not the same place.
What do you think, Al? It just seems like there's this simmering of hostility, and any little thing erupts the volcano, right? Everyone's just waiting for that last shoe to drop, for our president to tweet something, for everyone to jump all over them, for someone else to come on the other side, and then they explode.
So when Slick was speaking about like how his mom is like not too good with English, it had me think back a lot to my grandparents came here from Cuba. They didn't speak an ounce of English. My dad was the translator for them. So for all this hostility now, they died like before I was even born. So with all this hostility, I can't even imagine them being around now. Like I'm sure with today's time they would have learned some English, but you don't know that. And so, like, they were in Miami, and it's like, I can't imagine them going through today's world.
What did your grandma think?
I don't know.
Because we were just talking, your grandma is almost 91 years old, God bless her. Things that she's seen that you probably have never talked to her about, and what she feels.
I don't know. I haven't really, honestly, with all this political stuff, I haven't really talked to her about it.
How about your grandma?
Oh, my grandma is the most, she is so left. She is the most, rallies. She'd be leading the rallies if there wasn't a pandemic going on. She tweets on Facebook all the time.
So how's that working out for you guys?
I mean, it works well for me. I agree with a lot of times. Her and my dad get into real, headbutting. Yeah, they start screaming at each other. It's hilarious. They're almost the same age. So, but me and my mom just kind of back up. But it's really cool to have two sides of the political thing. My grandmother is so left, and my dad is, in the middle, more towards the right. So to have both sides and understand both sides is interesting. But it is really funny to watch them fight.
Isn't that interesting? How about you,
It's
Slick?
hilarious.
Oh, for
Because your mom's Haitian. So where is she as far as this whole political field?
On this political field, I feel like she wants just everybody to just unify. That's about it. Like, she just wants people to, like, pick the better decision. I mean, her decision is clear because she will tell you who she's going to vote for.
Who, Kanye?
But,
Yeah, what about that? What about Kanye for president, guys? Yes?
I can see it.
I guess.
No.
I mean,
No?
No.
he
I don't
came
want
too
it.
late, though. He came too
Well,
late.
wait, can you
No.
like back it up to how many years ago did he go up on the award ceremony, right? And there was a whole
Yeah.
big thing. He took the mic and huge uproar because he was going to run for president way back. And now,
He says
what is it,
every
4
year
years
he's
later?
gonna run for president. Every year he says he's going to run for president, and at the end he goes, "Everyone who's going to vote for me, vote for this person." And
I
it's
see
just
Elon
his way of
Musk is
rallying.
supporting him.
Yeah, correct.
Do
yeah.
it. Do it.
Would you guys vote for him?
I mean, he
No,
did.
but
He
this
did
is
show up
absolutely
really
not.
late to the
His
party.
music's not that good, so probably not. But I feel like a lot of it would turn into, not to get into too political statement, but I feel like a lot of it would be like the way Trump's handling things. Like neither one of them were very
They're not politicians.
right. They're not politicians, so like
They're people.
Kanye's, I'm sure he would have a whole different perspective on things, but a lot of it would be what Trump's doing, and obviously we see
Yeah.
how that's going. And it's
So my
not going
question
very
is,
well.
where's he running? Is he running for his own party? Is he a write-in? Is he
Yeah,
an
that's what I was saying. I'm
independent?
like, he
Anybody
might
know
just
what
run
the-
like
what the
or
over-under
not
is on that
Democrat,
one?
independent.
I wonder what he's gonna name himself for a new party. I feel like he'll make his new
The
party
Yeezy
group
Party.
of people.
That's what I'm wondering.
The Yeezy Party.
Like Kanye West isn't even
If
his,
he
like,
does that, I will
biological
vote for
name.
him.
No, I didn't think so.
That's what I'm wondering, like where the party line is. And the funny thing is, nobody's asked. I even asked my kids, and they went, "I don't know, Mom. Is he a write-in? Are we independent? Is he, is he Republican? Can he run against Trump? I mean, what's the deal?"
I know that beliefs-wise, he's a big Trump supporter. So that was my thing, is like he can't run as a Republican because the primaries already happened. He obviously
Right.
wasn't in them. So he can't run as a Republican, but he is a Republican. He's made it very public that he's a big Trump supporter. So I don't know where he's going to run in this. I really don't think I think at the end, everyone who's going to support him is going to be like, okay, go vote for this person who I chose. Vote for this person.
Correct. He's gonna do like what's the guy that came in really late? I forgot. Bloomberg. When Bloomberg came in like halfway
Yeah.
through the race, he's gonna be. After he drops out, he's like, vote for Biden because
Yeah, he's just
Biden
gonna get all-
most my views.
Well, you'll see when you see Hamilton, and you see it's between Burr and Jefferson, and they're they're at this tie, and Hamilton has the deciding vote. And it's like children, and
Yeah.
who's going to support, and what's he going to say? Nothing has changed. If you think back all where we were then and where we are now,
Similar.
nothing has changed.
Fully
and that's
agree,
the
yeah.
scary thing is, as much as we've learned and as much as we've come forward, nothing's changed.
Yeah.
When you look at the basics of where we sit, it's become more hostile, but there's still racial divide. There's still inequality between religions. We've been through wars and civil wars and the Holocaust, and we sit here today, and they're still waiting to see who's going to endorse, right? You go right back to this,
Correct.
and Hamilton had the deciding vote on this.
And people really
got
will
one.
wait until like whatever celebrity, they'll wait and see who their celebrity is going to endorse and just vote for them. I know so many people who have no idea what presidential platforms, they don't know what they're voting for, they don't know what party they're. Like, oh, so-and-so endorses them, sounds good.
I think The Rock. I still think The Rock.
He should run.
I
He
still
He'll be a
love The Rock.
landslide. He'll be a
Did
he?
landslide.
Yeah, he technically, last year, right in the middle of the elections, he filled out the paperwork, I believe, for this upcoming election for that he could run for president. So if he chose to, he could, and I would vote for him.
Everyone's like, would you
It'll
vote
be a
for The Rock?
landslide.
I
Yeah, it'll be a
would.
Yeah.
landslide.
Why?
Landslide. I feel like The Rock just he'll cover unification for everybody. To be honest with you. And I
just
feel like when
unifying.
people see the three options, they'll be like, The Rock, why not?
That would be our first Samoan president, which would be super cool.
Right, leave it to The Rock to even the playing field for things.
Right,
Correct.
bring a
Can you
woman on
imagine?
board, and I mean, it's just amazing that it just goes right back to the basics, and
Yeah.
it's gender and race, and you got to get the one race to vote for the. I mean, it's just crazy to me. So someone posted, I saw, never have I ever.
No.
All right, but the questions I saw on this never have I ever are so not indicative to you guys. Never have I ever. I'm going to ask you, milked a goat.
What?
Anyone
What?
ever milked a goat?
Is that
Nope.
a common thing?
That's what I'm thinking. I don't think so.
Is this like a bucket list?
Give
not-
give
I don't
yourself
think
a
I
point
know.
for each of these and put on where your score is on the comments. Never have I ever kissed a horse.
Oh, I've done that.
Have you?
Yeah, I used to ride horses. I mean, I haven't smooched a horse, but we used to own them.
I feel like so much of these go to Freddie and growing up on a farm. Never have I ever hauled hay.
Nope.
She probably has.
I'm
Ever
trying to
hauled
think.
hay?
I don't know what you consider. Like, I've never driven a tractor, but like we carried hay into the horse stalls.
And never have I ever peed outside.
Well,
You got me.
You got me on that one.
And this is the
I was gonna
first
say
one
that's
to
like a
talk
porta
up. I
potty.
thought
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys were going
You
like,
got
yeah,
me.
I got
Got me
you.
on that one.
Slick you do.
camping count.
Yeah, it doesn't say camping.
I like to call
camping.
it all men because I've realized growing up with men that guys will literally just on the side of the road be like, hey, turn that way, I have to go to the bathroom for a minute. And like cars going by in front of a house, zero shame. Like I'll just walk sometimes and I'll turn around and one of my friends will just, I'm like, we're in a parking garage, like just off the side of a parking garage.
We
No
have
one
somebody
cares.
look out, you know. We have somebody look out. Be like, check to see if security's going on. Check to see if there's a car. We'll be
Yeah,
fine.
what is that? Sometimes I'm like, just take a water bottle in the car and just like do your.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I feel like
Or,
most
like,
guys.
wait for a bathroom.
or me.
Or,
Like,
yeah,
that's what
that's
we have to do.
I can't. I
No,
feel like
it's
I got a
hard
weak stomach,
sometimes.
so I'm like,
They
guys.
both like I can.
Yeah, like I
Like,
can't wait. Like,
guys.
I feel so bad if any guy all of a sudden through some magical transformation was full woman. Like, you know, we have to wait for bathrooms for hours. You gotta just wait in a line for 30 minutes to get into the bathroom. I've seen guys literally just in the corner of a club just go outside where the smoking area is, do their business, come back in, and I'm still in line.
Yeah, that's very.
I'm not in the bathroom yet.
Slick's laughing. I know there's a whole story coming because he can't even go.
I know. I've seen what you're talking about, but I'm like, wow, that's very. I wouldn't do that. I'll probably try to see, like, you know, I can find like a dark alleyway that's already smelling like,
No.
yeah.
So many people are like, oh, is that a smoking area right now? Is that a little bit of concrete with some weeds on it that most people aren't standing on? Good enough.
Yeah, because I've seen some reckless shots that some guys take, and I'm like, wow, this is in front of the bar. You know that, right?
Yeah, some of these are very gardenish. Never have I ever sucked nectar from a flower. I think there's probably
Didn't know that was possible.
sucked nectar from a flower. Never have I ever made bread from scratch.
Oh, I've done that.
Oh, I
How was it?
It's great. My mom makes sourdough starters. We'll bring you some when the loaf
Oh,
is
that's the
done.
thing. Why has sourdough become so popular, by the way?
I have no idea.
It's become a thing. Sourdough during the pandemic. Everyone's making sourdough.
I've seen that. My mom's been doing it for years, so for us, it was just kind of like cool, other people can do it. And now there's like more recipes out there, like exciting. But I have noticed, yeah, a lot of people, people name their sourdough starters because you keep it forever. There's whole wheat sourdough. Everyone puts different stuff in it. It's not fun to make.
It's like these little babies that grow and mutate, right? And then
Yeah.
you pass them along.
Yeah, it's really low, and then it puffs all the way up, and you can split it up. It's insane. It's not fun though.
We should make one.
We could. I could bring it in, and
So
we'll
your
do a
mom makes
cooking segment.
sourdough and she makes limoncello.
Yeah,
What
she
else is
makes it.
mom?
She makes pasta from scratch. My mom is like the most Italian person, but she's not Italian at all. Like we're 0% Italian. but
That's
she's So
amazing.
Italian.
Aaron's girlfriend made an apple pie. I said to her yesterday, we did Christmas in July yesterday, so I took the girls to get their nails done. So we did Christmas in July. We were the only ones in the nail salon. And I said, I think we should do an apple pie for dinner. Let's go to Publix. She goes, I'll make one. I said, excuse me. She says, I'm going to make an apple pie. I said, and how are you going to do that? She said, with apples. And she goes through this whole thing. If you follow Chelsea on Instagram,
Yep.
it was beautiful.
It was. I didn't know who made it, but I was like, wow, that's really nice.
Aaron's girlfriend and Chelsea made this apple pie from scratch. There was like nothing left. There was one piece. I sent it home with my mom and dad. Amazing. Like people actually do this. And she cut the apple. I know. I'm just.
It's so funny to me that, like, because growing up, like, we always had to make stuff from scratch. So it's so
laughing
funny
at
that
me.
you're like, they made the pie.
They made a pie.
Like,
It's
they
not like-
made the crust.
It's like they didn't go to Publix and buy a pre-made one. I went to Publix yesterday, empty. I don't know where everybody was yesterday.
At the mall.
Oh yeah, what happened with that? Val, you're doing a show about that today?
So we were.
Oh, we can still do the show about it.
You changed your
I'm
mind?
gonna talk to him. Oh,
Well,
what's happening?
I didn't have a guest, and I messaged someone and didn't think they would respond, and they did. So.
Oh,
next week.
cool. So I can talk about it now. I'm off the hook.
Yeah, so let's talk about the mall then.
So I feel like things have gotten better. Like people are wearing masks. It's not super busy, but Teddy was like, oh, I need to come when's the mall not that busy. I said, okay, Sunday mornings, right?
Which
when
I
we
would like to
open.
point out that Val is a liar.
So
liar.
what I didn't put into account was that the day before was a holiday. People would not be going, and they all showed up Sunday morning at 12 o'clock.
I had no idea. So I was like, Sunday morning. Most Sunday mornings, it's not busy, and I had my mask on, and I got there right. I was there at 11:58, and I didn't realize there's only one entrance really that you can go in the mall. So the main entrance, there's a line outside, and there's stickers, 6 feet away that nobody followed, and everyone was crushed together and like pushing on each other, trying to get in the mall. Yeah. And it was all the way up to the parking lot. Like, it had split the little crosswalk. So I waited in my car until they all went in. Once everyone started going in, I followed them. And I was like, oh, but it's fine. Everyone's wearing masks. Well, no, because you get in and you see groups of teenagers and a security guard is following them, yelling at them because they keep taking their masks off whenever he can't see them. So he's having to follow them around. And people, even if you wear a mask, you still have to stay far away from one another. Like, a mask is just an extra layer.
Right.
If you're not 6 feet away, it doesn't do much. And I was hiding in corners trying to stay away from people because people are brushing right past you. The people who hand out samples are getting in your face. And I was like, okay, go into corners.
What'd you go to the mall for?
I wanted to pick up some stuff from Pink. I had to pick up birthday presents for one of my little cousins. Her birthday's today. So I went and I was like, oh, I'll just pick up little stuff from Claire's, whatever. And I wanted to circle. I was like, it'll not be busy. I went to the 2 stores that I needed, saw Val, and it got exponentially more crowded to the point where I just left.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even finish shopping. I
After
left.
you came and went in my store, it was like, oh, thank God I sent her in now because it got really busy.
And I will say, everyone was really good. All the stores were really good, especially like the store you work at of, you have to wear a mask, and they're clicking how many people go in. And, I saw people saying you have to wear your mask, you have to put it over your nose, you can't wear it on your chin. You weren't allowed in a store without it. But some stores at the mall are really small, and 2 people in there is already too many people in there.
Wow. So if you were a parent of a teenager, would you let them go to the mall?
No.
I didn't even want to let myself go.
Zach and I went to Cheesecake Factory to actually eat there last week, and it was like the first time we had actually ventured out. And we were going to go to Duffy's last night, but it was closed, and I said that to my dad, and he goes, you should not be going out. So, like, my dad, who's in his late 50s, is like, you should not be going out. Like,
His late 50s, he's our age.
lecturing me on the phone, and I'm like, I've already gone out.
I was surprised how many people, I didn't think people were going into the restaurants. To me, it was like a mall, like, quick, go in, grab what I need, get out.
Right.
People got there the minute the doors opened. They're going straight into the restaurants. They're going into, like, every little place.
And you wonder why we hit 11,000 yesterday or Saturday and 10,000 yesterday? Slip, would you let your teenagers go out to the mall?
Oh no, everybody's gonna be online shopping just like me. We're gonna be imagining how the shoe looks. Or
You got some new
imagining
shoes
how-
there.
Oh no,
I was gonna
these
say,
are
I
old.
like your
These are
shoes.
Those are kind of
thank you.
slick.
These are old though.
See a shirt?
These are old. These.
He's all matchy-matchy.
I'm matchy today, but yeah, these are old. I haven't been buying shoes because I love like going into a sneaker store and actually feeling them before I buy them. But they're gonna be online shopping if they were my kids.
It really blows
Yeah.
my mind how guys are so attached to shoes and girls are not.
No, I don't think that's true at all.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
so attached to my shoes. Just
I'm
not my sneakers.
Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I was thinking if you ever had to run and escape really quick, what would you take? And I looked at my shoes and go, I know you are not a necessity, but yet I
Yeah. I'm
feel
telling
like I
you.
really want to
I
take you
feel
with
you.
me.
Oh, I have a pair of heels that I would risk my life in a fire for. I'd run back in the house to get those shoes.
Telling you, duffel bag.
You double that back ready to go. You keep your insurance papers. I'm thinking, what else would I take? Which
Everything
shoes
else
are
is
coming
fine.
with me?
Yeah.
Yes, Slick?
I'm sure. What is it? I'm transitioning now from like sneakers to like actually dressy shoes. So it all depends on
It's a
like it all
transition.
depends on the transition right now.
Were you at Home Depot this weekend?
Unfortunately not. Yeah, no, not at all.
So you know what it was like there to this weekend?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was packed because it's been packed. Like Home Depot has been over, like they've been over their
Limit?
not
Capacity
limit, but
limit.
like last year they weren't that busy, but this year because of the quarantine and people being inside, more people are going to Home Depot.
Doing
so
more
it's
stuff
like,
in the house?
so they're always like we were always in our day in a plus for some odd reason, but it's like I would think being this past weekend a lot of people were over there just to be over there, and I feel like that's the whole essence of Home Depot of like people coming out. They just want to come out to finish what type of project or to start a project or to.
I can't even think of a single place that's not crazy busy right now.
Right.
I did my Target shopping on my app. I went to my app yesterday, and I would pick up at the parking lot. So I'm like, all right, I'm here, but I wasn't there. I'm thinking they'll never be outside. Now they go on my locator tracker. So they follow me from where I was when I said I was on my way. My location thing went on. So I got to Target. You can see the little blue thing on the top of your phone. So Target tracked me from where I was to go into Target. But
Chick-fil-A does that too.
really? But they were there when I got there. They had the bags. They scanned it, went in my car, and I left. It was like a 30-second transaction. Didn't have to go in the store, nothing. But it was interesting that they track you.
Yeah, I don't like that tracking part. That makes me nervous.
It was. You see, I had my trade-offs, right? Either track me or I have to go in the store and get exposed. So that was kind of, you can run a lot of errands and not go anywhere. It's a whole interesting thing. Vinny, what are you working on over there? I got to tell you, I've got the next Pulitzer Prize winner over here.
Just photos I took of Slick and Dina last week.
Oh, okay.
You did?
Yeah, you definitely did take pictures of me.
And there she is.
You did take pictures of me.
Oh, I want to ask this question also.
What's the
Like,
question?
never have I ever went on a date just because I was hungry.
Oh, I've done that. I don't know if this is on topic, but I have done that. It was worth
Yes,
it
where'd you
too.
go?
No, I didn't do that. Never have
Slick?
I ever.
Never have I ever went on a date because I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I don't think I did that. I'm just a hard thinker. No, I don't think I did that.
Val?
Nope.
No?
Dina? Never have I ever gone on a date because I was hungry.
See, okay. I thought I was the only one. I was about to get real mad. I was like, no, people do this.
I said the same thing at a Halloween party, and everyone hated me for saying that.
Dina's
I was
like,
about to
for
be so
sure.
upset.
You have a never have I ever?
Never have I ever been on a cruise.
Never. Oh, okay.
Now, I was supposed to go on one in November, and of course quarantine happened, so that's not happening. That's not happening.
Slick, any?
Not at the moment right now.
No, never have I
Lenny,
ever?
do you have a never have I ever? Lenny, you have a never have I ever?
Hey, Lenny.
A never have I ever.
That was like, whoop.
Never have I ever.
Never
Never
have I
have
ever
I ever
skydived.
skydived.
Okay, anyone?
I want to.
I want to go though. I really do.
Cool.
Have you? That's cool. Teddy, our last never have I ever?
Skip. There's a lot, done a lot of things.
We
Never
need a
have
whole
I
show
ever gone on a
covered
boat
to-
without getting sick.
Oh, yeah.
Never have ever gone on a boat without getting sick. So I was going to answer for the cruise question. I got sick in a fishing boat, so I also have not gone on a cruise.
Well, I've never been on one, so we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how that rolls out. All right, 10:30. We've got Small Talk with Val. Who you got coming on?
So an old family friend has part of the South Florida paddlers group. It's kayaking.
That's cool.
That's been a whole thing I saw this weekend. I can't wait to hear that. There's a whole, there's like something on Yamato Scrub. I see people are hiking in.
They're everywhere.
And Jupiter, they're doing a lot of kayaking.
Yeah. It's becoming a very popular thing now because it's like one of the only things you can do outside where you don't really, like you can stay far apart but be outside, enjoy the environment and be with people because, you know, half the time you're like 6 feet apart away from everyone anyway because if you're paddling next to someone, you can't smack oar and oar. So the oars are 6 feet long, so it's an easier thing to do, so it's becoming very popular.
Interesting. Tune in to Small Talk today at 10:30. We've got Fuego at 11:30. I'm not sure what we got going on in the meantime, but maybe the maestro will do some tunes for us. You know, your show yesterday, Lenny, last week, like one of our top shows of the week, by the way. Yeah. Telling you, I'll show you the numbers. It was unbelievable. And Dina there, and I think, who else was with you? Slick? Calloway. I guess he should be in soon also, so maybe you'll play some more tunes for us. They're going to go back to your car and get your sheet music. Dad bag, hashtag. Freddie, don't worry, there's another dad bag on set, so we can do a comparison of the dad bags. All right, that was our morning zoo crew for the day after 4th of July weekend. Stay tuned, more to come on our 12 o'clock hour. Got a special guest you haven't seen in a while joining us on our 12 o'clock show. Have a great morning, everyone. Be kind to each other, and we'll see you in a few. Nice job, guys.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S will bring more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. Well, see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save it. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors, just to